this is Greg Kelly. Donate now to Toys for Tots, which works year-round. Go to toysfortots.org. Toys for Tots supports children in need throughout the year with programs like the Toys for Tots Literacy Program. Established in 2008, it has provided over 63 million books to disadvantaged children. The Toys for Tots Literacy Program is committed to providing disadvantaged children with direct access to books and educational resources that enhance their ability to read and communicate effectively. Go to toysfortots.org.
The Dominic Carter Show on the Red Apple Podcast Network.
And the number to reach us live this hour, 800-848-9222. Dominic Carter here with you. What if President Trump is correct? And after all is said and done with Iran, the world ends up being a better place. That the bully on the world stage is gone. That as the president promised, that it improves not only our lives, but for the lives of future generations of Americans. What if? Now, we know what the naysayers say. We know what the haters say. Look at his body language. Look at the profanity that the president uses. Well, frankly, I like a man that says what he means and means what he says, and is no joke. Compare that to President Biden. No comparison. I like Trump's style. Like, for example, at his news conference. Take a listen.
The entire country could be taken out in one night, and that night might be tomorrow night.
The President of the United States, and some news breaking this hour, the Trump administration is no longer going to protect civil rights cases. I'm getting this in now as it relates to the trans community. So this is something that's going to be a big uproar, and we are just getting the headlines in as of right now. The New York Times is reporting it. But the president revealing, and I return to my point, what if the president is correct on Iran? A bold man taking action. The president revealing amazing details of the rescue of this F-15E crew member who was, quote, injured quite badly and bleeding rather profusely.
The second rescue mission involved 155 aircraft, including 4 bombers, 64 fighters, 48 refueling tankers, 13 rescue aircraft, and more. We were bringing them all over, and a lot of it was subterfuge. We wanted to have them think he was in a different location because they had a vast military force out there. Thousands of people were looking. So we wanted them to look in different areas, so we were scattered all over like we were right on top of them. We had 7 different locations where they thought, and they were very confused. They said, well, wait a minute, they've got groups here, they've got groups there. It's an amazing thing. I was listening to these great people, these great generals. General Raisin Cain was amazing, and Pete Hegseth was amazing. But I listened to the whole thing. It was pretty amazing. So they had all these different sites where everybody thought he was located. We think we have him over there because they have 9 planes circling a little area that's 25 miles down the coast. So in a breathtaking show of skill and precision, lethality and force, America's military descended on the area, the real area, engaged the enemy, rescued the stranded officer, destroyed all threats, and exited Iranian territory while taking no casualties of any kind. The heroic F-15 weapon system officer had...
And so the president, talking about the operation, leading America on the world stage. This didn't happen during Biden. Remember Afghanistan, the 13 American soldiers that lost their lives because of a botched operation? We're coming back to Iran in just a second. We want to hear from you folks as well. 800-848-9222. Savannah Guthrie returns to the Today Show this morning. We still don't know where her mother's remains are. I hate to be that crass about the situation, but we don't know where that stands. And also, Jamie Dimon, the CEO of J.P. Morgan Chase, stating the obvious, that if Mamdani continues along his path, there will continue to be an exodus of companies leaving New York. And another day, another crazy idea from the mayor of New York City, Mamdani. Mamdani, and I'm scratching my head on this one, folks, has released. Now, remember, New York has a $5.7 billion still budget gap. And what's the mayor doing with his time? Mamdani releases his long-delayed New York City racial equity plan. You heard what I said. His racial equity plan. And I feel like this is a bad dream, because didn't we learn our lesson from DEI and affirmative action? We're going down this road again where it doesn't help anybody. All it does is put a crutch on the people you claim to want to help, and it becomes a lifetime crutch that is, and everyone else is upset because they feel that they're being taken advantage of. It's divisive. We've been down this road. And you know what, folks? The way I live my life, right? James Brown, the legendary entertainer. James Brown in his song said, and this is the way I live my life, and I'm quoting James Brown, paraphrasing, I don't want anybody to give me nothing. Open up the door, I'll get it myself. And I think that's the way all of us should be as Americans. So Mamdani announcing this plan, and apparently what it's going to mean is that the city of New York plans to improve pay equity in city roles. And we've been down this road before, provide anti-racism training for city staff. Remember when they hired these nuts all around the country talking about racial equity, and these people were straight up Looney Tune, right? And they're lecturing other people. That's the road that Mamdani is taking us down. Listen to what he had to say at his announcement. I still don't fully understand what he's talking about, and I've been doing this for 4 decades.
And while today's true cost of living measure confirms that the affordability crisis touches every corner of our city, we know that these effects are not applied evenly. So often, it is black and brown New Yorkers who are hit the hardest. This preliminary racial equity plan is the first step in developing a whole of government approach to tackling that reality. It is a plan that lays out these first steps to solve decades of neglect and discrimination, and it places the work of 45 city agencies within a singular framework.
Mr. Mayor, why don't you focus on the job of being mayor? Why don't you do things like picking up sanitation and snow? Oh, I forgot. You failed at that. Why don't you deal with crime? Oh, I forgot. We've got 7-month-old babies being shot through the head in a stroller. Why don't you lead the city? Oh, I forgot. You think you're Nelson Mandela. And in fact, you think you're the president of the United States. You're the mayor of New York City. Stay in your lane. We did this early this morning. He's great with his cute social media announcements. So the city of New York, folks, is starting something. It's a noble idea in terms of universal pre-K for 2-year-olds. It starts very soon in June, I believe, 2,000 seats. Right now, I wonder who's going to get those 2,000 seats. Those that are politically connected, those who's going to get those seats. But anyway, so the city's going forward with that plan, and he reaches out. He's going to have a jingle. You know, he loves doing these stupid ideas, social media ideas, and he's going to have Cardi B judge the contest. She'll be one of the judges. And so the mayor and Cardi B, they appear together as one, reunited, and it's just a matter of time. I'll bet my life on this until we hear a Mamdani track on a Cardi B song. But listen to this social media post between Cardi B and the mayor of New York City.
Hello. Oh my gosh, how are you?
I'm doing well.
Can you believe that we got a 34-year-old mayor?
We do.
Like, I feel like I'm a kid, and you're like running New York.
I'm right there.
Cardi, what do you think about free childcare?
I feel like free childcare is very important. Sometimes us women, we can't really go forward because we don't have nobody to help us take care of our kids.
This fall, we're starting to deliver universal 2K,
Yes.
which is just like pre-K, just like 3K, but 2K for 2-year-olds.
Yes.
Free childcare, 2,000 seats in the fall.
Wow.
And they're going to be seats in the Bronx, starting it up. Shout out to the BX.
Yeah.
And enrollment actually starts in June.
Wow.
And we had a question for you.
Yes.
We're going to have a competition to create a jingle.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So New Yorkers are going to submit their best jingle.
Oh, wow.
And we wanted to know if you would help judge that competition.
Oh, I will judge it for sure.
Cardi's going to help you.
Yes, I'm going to help you.
By judging this
No,
competition.
the mayor's going to help you. And I'm going to judge, and he's the one with the phone. Yeah. Amen. Amen.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
So maybe it's a Bronx thing, but I do like Cardi B. Don't hold it against me. 800-848-9222. Savannah Guthrie returned to the Today Show, and I want you to hear what that sounded like.
Yeah. SG, come on out here. They've been waiting for it. How does it feel?
These signs are so beautiful. You guys have been so beautiful. I've received so many letters, so much kindness to me and my whole family. We feel it. We feel your prayers. So thank you so much. Thank
It's
you.
not just today. They've been out here
Every day.
every day.
This is such
with
a nice
signs.
pocket square. I don't want to slobber on it. Okay, yeah, it is. I know. I'm sorry.
How little is a million of them? Don't worry about it.
We love you.
It's nice to see that she has returned to work. At one point, I didn't know mentally if she was going to be able to do so, but she's a strong woman, and it appears, or at least for today, that she's back at the Today Show. Let's start with your live telephone calls, 800-848-9222. Cope in Westchester County. Good afternoon. What's on your mind?
Dom, it's great to speak to you, and I enjoy your show quite a bit. I am a little bit troubled but this weekend with Trump's Truth Social comments. You know, it's hard for me to try to spread the word to folks when he's publicly making comments like that. I wanted to get your thoughts and maybe try to figure out together how we can bridge the gap between folks that can't stand the guy and what the real word he's trying to get out. But if he keeps making these kind of bold comments, it's a tough go for us.
Well, this is going to sound weird. Hey, you know what I want you to do, Cope, because I like the way you're asking the question and you're looking for a solution. I want you to do me a favor, and please hold on. It's going to be a couple of minutes, but I really want to dive in with what you just said. So can you hold on for a few minutes for me?
Of course, brother.
Thank you. So hold on. We see all the other calls coming in. We're going to get back to Cope in Westchester. He wants to talk about President Trump's profanity, I guess, and I'll tell you exactly how I feel about this. We are coming right back.
The Dominic Carter Show, entertaining and informative on the Red Apple Podcast Network.
Look at this, net favorability. Party ahead at this point, midterm years with the GOP president. In 2018, Dems were up by 12. In 2006 on net favorability, which party you like more? Dems were ahead by 18. Republicans are actually ahead on net favorability at this point by 5 points. So Democrats are just simply put running behind their previous benchmarks, and they need to be running well ahead of them if they want to take back the United States Senate, given that math.
To be clear, both parties are wildly unfavorable right now. However,
Democrats are even more unpopular than Republicans.
Some of these charts.
And that from CNN, Dominic Carter back with you. I was just chatting with Cope in Westchester. So I want to deal with this for a second. And I want to start by pointing this out. The president asked why he used vulgar language in that Truth Social post. And it's for exactly what I knew he would say. It's to make a point.
Why did you use such vulgar language in that Truth Social post?
Only to make my point. I think you've heard it before.
Mr. President. So, Cope, I'm trying, you said, so we could try and work this out. So let's try and figure this out together. One, we all know the President of the United States has much more information than any of us will ever have. Two, we need to understand that he's playing a game of chess at all times. There is nothing, unless I'm not going to call the past president a fool, but unless you're Biden, there's nothing that comes out of President Trump's mouth that is not calculated. So when he uses profanity, he's turning up the heat against the world leaders that he's directing the comment to. It is my humble opinion that he's not thinking about how it's perceived to some back home. He's saying to the leaders of Iran, I want this done. I want it done now. You've got 24 hours. If it's not done in 24 hours, I'm blowing up bridges and all types of infrastructure. So you have a problem with the language he's using? Because I don't. I know that it's a game of chess.
Well, it's six-dimensional chess, and you are correct about what you're saying, but my concern is different than what Trump's concerns are. My concerns are trying to make the guy look normal to the left, the people that hate him.
Okay, but wait, Cope. He could walk on water, cure cancer. There's nothing he can do where the left is going to look at him the way that he should be looked at. So if that's your goal, you're never going to achieve that goal. They'll never give this man the credit he's due.
Very true. Very true. I'm just trying to figure out. It was just shocking to me. I mean, Trump is, we've been behind him. He's done a lot of crazy things. We've seen it all. We've seen it all with this guy. But this one just seemed to go a little bit overboard. And he's always, Dominic, he's always talking about not giving away what he's going to do to his enemies. But yet he put it right out there. Is he full of it? What happens if tomorrow comes and he's got to extend another week? He looks like an idiot in my case.
Then he'll just extend. I honestly believe, Cope, that President Trump is negotiating at such a high level, the art of the deal that you or I will never understand. And I think we have to give him the benefit of the doubt, because I think he's one of the best to ever do it. And I think that you see all of a sudden it appears that Iran is at the table trying to get this deal done. They're used to the Bidens of the world. Oh, I'll protect your feelings while you walk all over me. No, it's a new day. And I really believe he means what he says, and he says what he means. So on that note, thank you for the call. Time for a break. We are coming right back.
The Dominic Carter Show. Entertaining and informative.
On the Red Apple Podcast Network.
Breaking news.
And we are just getting this in, and it's going to be controversial. The Trump administration to pull out of civil rights settlements backing transgender students. The Trump administration, this is per the New York Times, on Monday, today, will terminate multiple civil rights settlements aimed at ensuring transgender students' rights to equal opportunity to an education, forcing school officials to choose whether to comply with the government's interpretation of federal anti-discrimination laws or to abide by conflicting state statutes. The terminations described by Education Department officials briefed on the changes are an escalation, and this is a good thing. It's controversial, but this is a good thing right here. Is part of the escalation of the administration's efforts to force the president's executive order that the government recognize only a person's sex assigned at birth. And let's get real. Let's get real. I love my friends in the transgender community, but let's get real, and in the gay community. You can't one day, I'm a woman, the next day I'm they, the next day I'm he. Tonight in bed, I want to be he. Tonight in bed when I'm making love, I want to be she, or I want to be bi, or I want to be they, or I want to be a parrot. No. Come on, we're all losing our minds trying to keep up with all of this. I don't even know as a broadcaster what to call you. Unfortunately, when we have these shootings, and more often than not these days, it involves someone that's trans or whatever the case may be, and the left wants you to say she, but it's like, wait a minute, 2 months ago or a year ago it was a he. Look at the picture. So how do I call a she and it was a he? But I'm supposed to go poof and ignore all of that and just be politically correct and do what you want me to do. We see all your telephone calls. We're going to get right back to them. I'm looking at my Twitter, at my ex. The lovely Debbie Lebedo, Staten Island, says, she capitalizes this: Trump derangement syndrome people will never like Trump. Those on the fence, please focus on his success. I agree with you, Debbie. She goes on to say, we all get frustrated and have a slip of the tongue. His motivation is only for America and its citizens. That's the only thing I disagree a little bit with, Debbie. Everything that President Trump does, as I said, it may not look this way, but it's calculated. He's nobody's fool. The comments he made about Iran using profanity, he knew exactly when he said, you crazy blah. And let's be honest about it. Okay, let's stop for a second. With the way Iran has operated throughout the world, haven't we all thought that their leaders are absolutely bat-you-know-what crazy? Of course we have. We may not say it, but we have a president that says right now, I'm going to say it. I know it's true and I'm going to say it. And it's political posturing. It's putting them on the defensive. It's saying to them, we don't know this dude's next move. He's not the one to play with. And he's not. President Trump is not the one to play with. Let's go back to your telephone calls. Let's go to Carol and Yonkers, line 5. Carol, what's on your mind?
Thanks, Dominic. Happy Easter Monday. What I was going to say about the pre-K
yes.
2-year-old, 3-year-old, it's a total gaslight. How I know is I used to work in the public schools for some time, and those children, they play. They're not really able to sit in a chair and learn, quote, learn, like the old Head Start. You probably remember Head Start when we were younger. Totally different. What they do is play, then they have their lunch, then they sleep all afternoon. A 2-year-old can't handle more than that.
Hey, Carol, but I think the point of this is that many families, the mom has to stay home. In most cases, dad may have to stay home. Somebody's got to stay home and take care of the kid because they can't afford daycare. So I understand that you're saying that this is not really an education process, but I think it's mostly about some place to send the child to so that mom and dad can go to work for the day. Do you buy that or no?
Yeah, definitely. Oh, most definitely. I really, really do. But I don't want them to, I hope that they don't do that. Make it seem like, these children are really getting an education and they're really going to be ahead of other children at the same percentile. It doesn't work like that. It's a babysitting service, actually, just like you said.
Right. Carol, thank you for the wonderful call. Let's go to Steve, line 4, New Jersey. What's on your mind, Steve?
Hey, Dom. Happy Easter. Happy Passover
Same
to all
to
out
you and
there.
your
Remember,
family.
we are country founded on Judeo and Christian the values. All right, back to my point. That other guy that called Cope, I don't know him from a hole in the wall. He may be he sounded like a very nice guy. I think I don't think he's a Trump supporter necessarily. I don't think he's a hater either. He's one of those independents. All right. And so and I don't think he's ever hung out in the streets with a crew of guys who talk and by the way, their bite is worse than their bark. That's President Trump. All right. I'm tired of government officials, presidents, whatever, who have a soft bark and very little bite. President Trump backs up his bark, his harsh bark, with a tough bite, and that's what I want. He's looking
Amen.
out for me,
Amen.
you, and Team USA. Cope, if you're listening, please, all right? come to the Republican side and vote because that other side is dangerous. There I go. I'm done, Dominic. Thank you.
Well, fantastic call, Steve. Thank you for the point there. And, it's one of the reasons why I voted for President Trump. After Biden and all of this, we are the world and, let's all get along and Kamala, look at my African-American vice president and look at the United Nations. We're a world stage. No, America first. That's why Biden got out of the race. That's why Kamala was blown out. And that's why Trump won every battleground state. America first. I like the president's style because at the end of the day, when we're being honest with each other, let's be honest with each other right now, okay? You don't think the same things that President Trump thinks? Of course you do. Now, you may not be honest right now and admit that, but of course you do. Sometimes you say to yourself, who does this think he's talking to? Just President Trump is bold enough to put it out there. And I respect that. I'd rather know where a man or woman is coming from. And to the president's point, when he said bat whatever crazy, the people in Iran, right? Come on now. Is he lying or is he telling the truth? Inquiring minds want to know. We know he's not lying. We know he's telling the truth. Oh, but you're not supposed to say that. You're supposed to deal with them like Biden did. Well, how well did that work out? I don't think so. Let's go back to your telephone calls here. Let's see. I'm having a problem pulling up my calls here, but let's see. Let's go to Sandra in New Jersey. Sandra, what's on your mind?
I knew you were going to pick me. Isn't that funny, Dominic?
Wow. So you're saying we have this connection, young lady?
I think so. I was sitting here in the car coming home, and I was thinking, I bet you it's going to be me. But I'm so glad. Happy Easter to you. And
same to you, and happy Passover.
Thank you. Trump is the real deal. He's not a fake. He's not a phony. He's not a fraud. What you see is what you get. Take him or leave him. I will take him any day. I found these figures. They're astounding. What they left in Afghanistan and compare that to this beautiful job Trump just did. Listen to this, Dominic. They left behind 22,171 Hummers, 1,000 armored vehicles, 64,000.
But Sandra, I don't know if I buy that. I've never bought into that. I believe they were left there intentionally, not as part of some secret deal. Nine times out of 10, we never know what deal is cut. I just find it very hard to believe that billions of dollars worth of military equipment was left there by accident. I think it was done intentionally, Sandra. But go ahead.
It's very possible. But when I look at the what they left behind there, 358,539 assault rifles, 126,295 pistols, and 200 artillery units, and then of course the people that they left behind. It was as we all know, it was a botched up job. But when I look at the numbers with my eyes and I see it, wow. Whatever the reason was, Dominic, it was wrong. And,
right.
You don't want to leave weapons for them to use against us.
Right. I think a deal was cut that we'll never know about. And so thank you for the call, Sandra. All those weapons that were left there, and you want to talk about President Trump's personality and his use of profanity? I don't think so. Let's go to Angie, Long Island. Angie is a teacher. I enjoy chatting with her. Line 4. Angie, what's on your mind?
Hey, Dominic. I'm off all week, so I get to listen and call you.
Wonderful.
I know. I love your voice. I'm calling regarding the Universal 2K, 3K.
Okay.
What's going on with these schools? And I teach kindergarten in one of these buildings for the DOE. We have a 2-year-old classroom and a 3-year-old classroom in our building. So what the parents are doing, they're dropping their children off at 2 years old, 3 years old, from 8 to 4. I would say maybe 75% of them do not speak English. They're terrified. The parents do not work. And I know that because I've done home visits, and neither mom or dad work. Most of them living in shelters. I was right up. I'm in Southside Jamaica, so they're living in the hotels and no income, no handicaps. I don't know why they're not working. They're just not working. And a lot of the moms come in, dump the kids off. Half the time they don't even sign them in. And they go into the parent lounge and they're getting their free breakfast and a free lunch and free everything. And the smell of the weed.
Whoa. You said, first of all, when they drop the kids off, are they pregnant again yet?
Okay, I teach 4 and 5 year olds, and some of them have 2 younger siblings, and most of them have bellies.
All right, okay, all right. So just like I thought, they're pregnant. But so you said they go into the parent lounge and have breakfast. Wait a minute, what do you mean the parent lounge and have breakfast?
That's what, there's a parent lounge in the school, and they can go in there, and they sit there all day, chit-chat. And the worst part is a lot of them drop these kids off sick. And it's like they don't take them to doctors. They don't, it's just unbelievable what goes on. They're using these schools as daycare, and they're not even working. They're just exhausting our system, is what they're doing.
It's called, Angie, I talk about it all the time. It's called pimping the American people. Who's paying for this breakfast in the parent lounge?
We are. Out of our taxes. I mean, we get donations and things. I'm sure that we get pantry, whatever. But and the smell of the weed. They smoke marijuana outside. And when I get these kids, some of my kids, because they do take an hour nap, they don't sleep all day. Even their blankets smell of weed.
Yes,
they have to smoke it before they drop them off.
Yes, it does. Wow. How are you able to tolerate this?
Well, it's funny you asked that because my boss asked me to download the app so I could, translate English to Spanish. And I said, I really don't feel that that's helping because they really need to learn to speak English. And I did you remember a while back I spoke to you about those red cards that the school was handing out? They were handing out these red cards, laminated red cards, and on these red cards were instructions on how to evade ICE if ICE came to their door.
Wow.
So I took... But yeah, I'm like, what are we teaching these kids? What are these? You don't have to answer the door. You don't have to answer questions. They're teaching them how to break the law. They're telling them how to break the law. And a lot of the kids pay the price because the parents are moving from shelter to shelter. They get moved from school to school. But everything is free.
Like I said from day one, free. Hey, you know what, Angie? For lack of a better term, when it comes to language, English, man, English. I mean, that's been in several Hollywood movies. I don't know why it's so hard. I don't understand how you come here pimping. You may already be pregnant when you get here. You get free housing, free. Several senior citizens listening to us right now, Angie, don't have food, are worried about paying their bills. And we're talking about Americans that have paid into the tax system all their lives. These people come here, and Angie, I got to take a break. You said you're off this week, so I want to hear from you again this week. They come here with the sole purpose of pimping you and I. And our government says, here, have another, take more. But you know what? It's a new day. And it's called President Trump. Thank you, President Trump. Shut it down. Time for a break. We are coming right back.
The Dominic Carter Show on the Red Apple Podcast Network.
And the Tunnel to Towers Foundation final thoughts of the day. I'm looking at my Twitter, at my X, and Liz Rosenblatt. Liz says regarding President Trump's language, she capitalizes her next 3 words, after constant attacks, verbally and physically, and after being shot at, our president has every right to say anything. She capitalizes the word anything his heart desires. He has earned that right. You're correct, Liz, and thank you for that. But it's also a matter of, folks, everything that the president does, from the mannerisms to the words, it's all calculated. And this man is a master at negotiating. He knew he's talking the language that those nuts in Iran, the leadership, that they understand. And they know, look at the boat situation. They know he's not playing, right? He may extend the deadline a day or two, but if you push his hand, guess what? Boom. Okay? It really is that simple. Let's go to Catherine, line 2 in Maryland. Catherine, what's on your mind?
Yes, hi.
Hi.
Hi. I just want to say one thing for Savannah Guthrie. I understand her grief. I think most of us do. We've all been through massive grief in our lives. But I think it might behoove her to read the Bible in the book of Job, because that helped me a lot. I think it might help her too. Thank you, Mr. Carter.
Well,
I love you.
Well, thank you. I love you too, Catherine. Thank you. We don't know that she's not. The only thing I can say is, and folks, I know we don't really want to hear this, but when you're a and I know you're going to say, Dominic, how dare you say something like, when you're a multi-million-dollar talent like Savannah Guthrie is, more money, more problems, as she just found out, unfortunately, a very tragic way. All that glitters is not gold. And she lives a very tough life. And, I know, Dominic, how can you say that? Well, you try getting up every morning at 2 a.m. for the illusion to go on television at 7 a.m., 6 a.m. and make it look like you slept for the last 12 hours. She does not have it easy. And, I'm just glad that she was back at work today. Hopefully it will continue that way. Let's go to Ray, line 1, Long Island. What's on your mind, Ray?
Hi, Dominic. I enjoy listening to your show, but I think you're misreading the comments that the president made this weekend. And let me say, I'm a conservative. I supported the president in his 3 presidential runs, and I thought he did an excellent job in his first year. But I believe that he's leading us to a path of disaster and economic catastrophe the way he's with this Iran policy, and I'll tell you why.
Okay, so wait, Ray, we're running short on time. I don't have time for a long story. What would you have him do?
Sorry. The Iranians have promised they're going to blow up the oil loading docks north of the Strait of Hormuz.
Okay, wait, Ray, follow me. What would you have the president do? Don't avoid my question. Answer the question.
What I have him do is I'd apologize to the Iranians for what he's done so far and get the hell out of this war.
Dominic is done with you.
I'm not feeling it, Ray. Sorry. Yo, Dominic, I'm a fan. Well, thank you. Thank you, Ray, for being a fan. But what you're saying makes no sense. Let's go to Sal in New Jersey, line 4. Sal, what's on your mind?
Hello, Dominic. How you doing? Dominic, I was always told by my family members that in life, nothing worth getting is free. If you want to get something worthwhile that you want to appreciate in life, you got to work for it. And when you get something handed to you for free, ultimately you become jaded, you become lazy, and you get had.
Exactly. You need to can that message, Sal, and take it to every urban community in America and play it over and over and over again. Sal, we end the program with your comment. You're right. Nothing in life is free. And I mean nada. Nothing. Nothing is free. Even that cute woman you're smiling at, it ain't free. Nothing is free. America's heroes need your help now. Do good in their honor by donating $11 a month to Tunnel to Towers. And you can amplify your impact with a car or land donation. Go to T2T.org. T2T.org. I am back live, midnight Eastern.
Thanks for listening to The Dominic Carter Show. You can hear The Dominic Carter Show weekdays at 3 p.m. and Monday through Thursday at midnight and Sunday starting at 11 p.m. on 77 WABC. If you like the podcast, share it with your friends and listen anytime at WABCRadio.com and download the WABC Radio app. Hit that subscribe button on all major podcast platforms. Plus, follow WABC on social on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and X. See you next time for a new episode so you never have to wonder.
What the heck is going on here?
Listen to this podcast now
on the Red Apple Podcast Network. The Leadership Thread with Dr. Peggy Polonis.
I'm Dr. Peggy Polonis. Join me on each episode where I unravel the story that shaped leaders, tracing the thread that led them where they are today. Because leadership isn't born in adulthood. And thank you once again for joining us on the Leadership Thread, education, ethics, and sustainability.
Download all of Red Apple Media's podcasts right now through your favorite podcast platform.